Hey guys, welcome to another video. This is Mr. Pandaria Beta. Are you guys ready to see some of the new Druid talents? This is part 2. I'm going over Druids. I'm on my Druid. I transferred them over to the Beta. And I'm going to show you first of all the specs. You have Balance, Feral, Guardian, and Restoration. I guess Guardian is the tanking spec, but I'm going to be, in this video, I'm going to show you Balance. I'm going to show you some of the skills and some of the talents. And some of the glyphs. I'm going to go through the first tier, which is Feline Swiftness, Displacer Beast, and Wild Charge. First thing I'm going to do is test Feline Swiftness. It's supposed to increase your speed by 15%. I want to know if it's running speed increase. Right now I'm activating, I don't see any increase. Tried again in cat form, but cats already have a standard 15% increase movement speed, and I tried in boomkin form, and I didn't notice any speed, so I think this talent is actually broken. Hopefully it'll be fixed in the future. Next is Displacer Beast. Charge 20 yards ahead of you, and you go into stealth. A great tool to be able to get away. It's kind of like a mage blink. That is amazing. A mage blink into a stealth. That is awesome. All right, next up is going to be Wild Charge, and now the charge that changes depending on what form you're in. So in bear form, it does the regular feral charge into a snare. As a cat form, it does that leap in the air into a daze effect, and in moonkin form, it does a jump backwards, kind of like a hunter, but not as far. I tried it right now with the jump and leap backward. I don't think it's as far as hunters. And then we also have in travel form, it leaps forward 20 yards. That's pretty cool. So there's a lot of variations to that one skill. There's also, if you're in regular form, the regular caster form, you can basically intervene, leap through the air, it actually leaps through the air to a friendly target. That is really cool. But I did try going up to a very high place. I had like my teammate stand on top of that wall and I could not get to him. So I guess it does have some limitations, but that one skill has a lot of different variations. Pretty cool. All right, next up we're going to the second tier of the talents. We're gonna start off with Nature Swiftness, of course. You can get Nature Swiftness as a boomkin. Get off an instant cyclone. I think it'd be good for PvP and for PvE. Next up is Renewal. This is an ability that gives you 30% of your total health as a heal, as an insta heal. I took a bunch of damage right now so you guys can see the instant heal. I'm going to activate it right now. It's pretty good. Next up is going to be a heal over time. It's a 30-second cooldown, and it's a heal over time, and it starts once a mob starts hitting you or another player starts hitting you. That's when you start the healing effect. When the healing effect starts on you. So it's pretty good. Okay, here's an ability I've been waiting for, Fury Swarm. It's the ranged slow. Basically a ranged hamstring, 50% movement speed, and it's basically on Fury Fire. I was hoping that there was no diminishing, but there is a diminishing return, as you can see. I also tested it in PvP, there is a diminishing return, so I guess it's not that good. Not as good as I first thought it was. Next talent is Mass Entanglement. You can root a target and it spreads to 5 other, well, total 5 total targets, and you can pretty much root all the mobs together. It's on a 2-minute cooldown. It is a very, very good way to get away. It's a great peeling tool. It's on a 2-minute cooldown though. Typhoon, guys. Typhoon! You can pick up Typhoon as a Wrestle Druid. It's gonna be the most overpowered thing ever. Do you guys realize what Typhoon is, right? As a boomkin, it's one of the most fun skills ever. You can do it as a Wrestle Druid. As you can see right now, I'm healing like crazy. I just popped Typhoon. This is Typhoon in a game, guys. This is me recently, like sitting on top of the mill, waiting for someone to come by and knocking him down. Look at that mage. Look at how he got owned. Tell me that's not the most funnest thing ever, guys. And I capped the flag. It is awesome. All right. I'm gonna show you a couple more clips here. Ninja, I do this on my spare time, guys. This is the most satisfying thing you can ever do on a character, is knock people off cliffs. And I jumped off because I had to loot him. I had to loot his corpse. I do that too. And here is a super ninja between all the enemies just to get off, just to get a knock off. There you guys see it. As a Wrestle Druid, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this skill. Alright, the next tier, the first ability is called Soul of the Forest. Basically, what this ability is going to do is it's going to grant me 20 lunar energy or 20 solar energy as soon as I eclipse. But as you can see, it didn't work, so I think the skill is still broken. Hopefully they'll fix it in the future. Alright, the next one is Incarnation! Guys, this is an ability that's a red flag, because it makes you turn into a giant boomkin. In PvP, this is like, attack me! Look, I'm bigger than everybody else, I do more damage! But you get like crazy amounts of lunar and solar regen, like you totally get eclipsed super quick. You can activate this ability to actually get eclipsed like that. And plus you do tons of damage. But it's a warning flag. Look at this. Can you imagine like running around in RPG? I am bigger! I do more damage! Attack me now! Why? Why, Blizzard, did you make it so big? Next up is going to be Force of Nature. Okay, Force of Nature, as you know, as a Boomkin, you summon 3 treants and they do damage, but if you're a Razer Druid, they actually heal you. Here I am, I have hardly any health, and these trees are healing me to full. My own personal pocket healers, body me, healing me, and as long as I'm full health, they heal other people, they heal themselves. I think it's pretty good. I actually thought that those things were going to do damage. I didn't know they were going to heal me. So I think it's really, really cool. I like it. I might be wrestling. Alright, next up, Disorienting Roar. This is kind of like a rogue gouge. It's a disorient. It's a great way to run away, a great kiting tool. You could also use this without facing the target. As you can see here, I'm running away and I just activate it and just keep running. It's great. It's going to be a great ability for kiting. I mean, Boomkins needed it. Alright, next up is Ursol's Vortex. This, guys, is really good. I think a lot of people are going to be taking this because what this does is it spins the vortex around, slows people 50% movement speed. As soon as they get too far away from the vortex, it sucks them right back in, and then they have to kind of like start all over again. It has diminishing returns, so once they get sucked in, once they can't get sucked in again, still a really good ability. Alright, next up is Mighty Bash. It's a stun. 50-second stun. It's a 5-second stun. I'm sorry, 50-second cooldown, 5-second stun. But since people can dodge it or parry it, it's risky to use it against rogues, but it is still a good ability. 5-second stun on a druid, I like it. Next up is Celestial Alignment. You can activate this ability and you automatically get eclipsed. You do like 42% more damage. So you don't have to be eclipsed, you activate this. I can set up a one-shot macro with this. Definitely. And in mock, I'm going to be setting up one-shot macros with this. Next up, we're going to be going into the glyphs. This is Glyph of Stars. Basically, what it does is it lets me, instead of going into Moonkin form, I go into like this celestial form, and I think it's much better than a Moonkin form. I think it's going to confuse a lot of people too. People are going to see me as a human. They're not going to attack me because Boomkins are like #1 targets in RPGs. If you get too close to the enemies, they blow you up. Alright, next up is the Moon Beast. It lets you actually cast healing spells as a Moonkin. This is really cool. You can cast Healing Touch, Rejuve, and Tranquility as a Moonkin. That is pretty cool. Alright, next up is Glyph of Prowl. This is really cool because what it does is you can prowl and move at normal movement speed. You don't get slowed. I think that's going to be really good for dueling. Next up is the Life Bloom Glyph. I think this is one of the greatest ideas that are made because what it does is you can actually put 3 Life Blooms on yourself, and if you start putting Life Blooms on a second target, it transfers them. It transfers the stack. So every time you put Life Blooms on new targets, it transfers the stack. And you don't lose on them. I think that's a really great idea. And Glyph of Stampeding Roar. You no longer have to switch stances in order to activate Stampeding Roar. That's really cool. Alright, here are some fun glyphs. This is Glyph of the Stag. It lets you become a mount. Basically, if you go into travel form, instead you go into, you look like a stag and people can mount up on you and you can take them for a ride. A lot of people like a lot of people like this glyph. Alright, next up is Glyph of the Orca. When you, instead of turning into a seal, you turn into an orca. when you go into the water. Pretty cool indeed. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek at what the Druids are going to get in Mist of Pandaria. I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys soon.